Welcome back to Boring Reviews.
Boring land.
Oh, just kidding.
Blasphemer!
All
Hello,
right.
Boring Review Nation!
And a pointless.
We know all things.
All right. Welcome back to Boring Reviews. And for anyone in the comment section who told us that the last two episodes were boring and slow, shame on you. Nick here.
Gabe. Chapati. I'm a survivor, baby! I'm a survivor! Oh, I'm loving it, bro. I'm loving this episode. Bro, I don't know what people are talking about. Maybe it's when, listen, you flew too close to the sun, Icarus, like Eminem. Okay, let's stop with the fables. I'm not going to be able to top what my name is. All right, what do you want it to be better than season one? That's not going to happen. They gave you season one. It happened, all right? Once I give you a classic out the gate, it's only going to come down from there. Will you expect better? That just doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm watching this and I'm waiting for the letdown, Nick, because people were like, oh, this is not as good. I didn't like it, whatever. What's not to like? I'll wait. My man Muna got clipped. I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. My man Muna got clipped. But you know what? All right.
Spoilers, everybody.
All kinds of spoilers. My man Muna got clipped. But you know what? You knew it was going to happen. And even then, before then, he showed he was a boss. So Muna, you went out in style. We salute you, my friend.
They got to kill him off right when he starts getting interesting, for crying out loud. Right when he starts getting interesting. This episode was out of control. I'm going to go crazy right now. I'm going to tick everybody off. I'm going to say I'm more impressed with this season than I was in the first season. And let me tell you why. Okay. I love Babalu. Me and Babalu, we don't know each other. We live in the real world. He lives in the fictional world. But he's my soul brother, for crying out loud. You don't have a Babalu. You don't have a Sweetie. And it's still this good. I'm way more impressed with this season. I think I still give the edge to the first season because you got Babalu and you got Gudu and you got all these different things. But I love this season. I agree with you. Every episode was just a joy to watch. It was so much fun. It was so crazy. This episode, no exception. I honestly, with all the stuff we got in episode 9 and all the stuff we got in episode 10, where these two episodes are supposed to be slower and not your favorite, I don't know what you're expecting. We had people getting taken out left and right. Literally left and right. All these storylines basically ended with someone dying, someone getting got, as you say. Unbelievable. Let's start off right where episode 9 ended. You got Makbul going in there with the gun, and he just starts shooting off. You see Baji get his hand clipped a little bit, and I'm like, ooh. And, of course, my kids have to be walking around when I watch that. They're like, Dad, what's that stuff dripping from his hand? It's not Kool-Aid. And Makbul is ready to take him out. But why, Makbul? Why? Because your son's going to know what it's like to lose a parent. Like I know what it's like to lose. And then you have Gabe, who shows up,
Bina
armor.
Bina, grimy, right? She's like, no, Makbul, don't do it. And Makbul looks back at her. She goes, because I want to do it. And then you saw the old man, like, you saw his eyes. And then did you notice that's when they start giving us the music? And they start building to it. And Bina's coming up with the gun. And then all of a sudden, wait, there's more. Here comes the maid girl. And
I honestly thought she was going to give some kind of lame nonsense. Don't do it for this reason. I'm like, what are you doing?
Funny thing is, he's like, I will not let a woman kill me. No, Makbul, kill me. And Makbul's just sitting down with the gun. Shabina's got the gun coming after him. He tries to roll away in his wheelchair. Bro, you ain't making a fast break for that thing. That thing goes like...
She just pushes the chair down and makes him trip over it.
Oh, she throws another chair in front of him. He falls over. Bro, where did he thought he was going? That chair goes like maybe not even half a mile an hour. He's going to escape in that? Bro!
I think he was trying to get a gun. I think he was trying to get a gun.
So she gets, he's trying to get the gun. She grabs the gun. She's about to pop him. And here comes the other girl. And she's like, no, use this. It'll take longer. And he looks back like he's shocked. He says, you said you liked it. This little old, you nasty, are you serious? Oh my, bro, this is one of the nastiest mugs I've ever seen. He has the nerve to say, "But I thought you liked it," and then like, no woman ever likes being forced. And she grabbed the meat cleaver and went to work. Oh, you heard the bones crunching. I was like, oh.
No. She thought she was Paul Bunyan right there, and she was chopping that tree down. I mean, that's what they say to Rocky in Rocky IV. Chop him down, chop him down. She literally took it to heart. And I'm thinking, we talked about in the last episode, Colleen has no idea what goes on in his house. Case in point, his own dad gets got, and he has no idea what's happening. It was a nice thing to watch because this guy's watching about ants and all this kind of stuff. He's doing his nature videos. This guy is creepy. He there's no one in that house that isn't of the opposite sex that he hasn't messed up in some way. So, boom, he's gone. Now, we don't ever see what happens to Makbul, right? I mean, he's just somewhere.
No, he's
right?
in the wind. He's in the wind because in the conversation when at the funeral or the ritual when they're burning when they're burning him, Muna says, "I'll find him and I'll kill him." So that means he's in the wind. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you want no parts of Makbul, cousin. Just saying. But man, I'm watching this episode. I'm like, oh yes, the glory. Right off the bat, they give it to us, cousin. So then, the next storyline trips me out, right? You have what's his name show up to the funeral, Muna, and he comes with the wife, and the wife comes with all her security guards or her police. I mean, Colleen is not playing. He's probably got 20 dudes there, right, with their guns. But she comes with all her police dudes too. And Muna comes up, to pay respect to his grandfather. And then right away he starts, well, I need to be the king of Mirzapur. Him and his dad start arguing. He said, let's just be real. You mad because my wife got the position you wanted, chief minister. Okay, and we can end all that real quick with one phone call because she's chief minister. So you better watch.
You're thrown just like that.
You know what I mean? It was like, oh, the cub.
He's trying to get her out there. He's yelling, shut up. You don't belong in this conversation. Get out of here. I love seeing Muna stand up to him. You can only push someone so far until they start pushing back. And I mean, even he's in the heat of it. And then she's like, well, why don't we go back to Lucknow? And, it's like, no, that's where your place of power is. This is my throne. This is what I want. I'm going to stay here. Love you, but no. It was awesome.
It was a cool scene. So, after that exchange happens or whatnot, Muna pays his respects. He leaves hot. So immediately, who gets on the phone? Bina. She's been ruthless. First, she tells Colleen, I tried to stop Makbul, but he was possessed. I couldn't stop him because she's got the bandage on her hand. That's from chopping old Gramps to kibbles and bits. You know what I'm saying? So obviously, she bruised her hand that way. So she calls and she goes, it's time now. They're as weak as they're ever going to be. And who did she call? She called Guru. And you know what? That moment was fantastic because you had him going through a character conflict. He has a conversation with Lala about the daughter, Shubnam. And he is, he goes up to Lala, he confronts him. He's like, what is your problem with me? Okay, yeah, I like your daughter, whatever. What's the problem? And he's like, are you kidding me? He's like, you're going on a bloody rampage. You're going to take her down with you. If you can tell me right now, you can say goodbye to the revenge, then I walk her down the aisle myself and give her to you, but I'm not going to be dumb enough to let her go with you. And he kind of, okay, I can't have to say against that. He walks away. He's sitting there. He's got the girl. He's got his girlfriend there, and he's thinking about it. And she's like, you got to let us know what's going on. And then that phone call comes, and just his eyes, the excitement, and it's like that moment that you've been waiting for 10 years happens. I loved Ali Fazel's acting job right there, just in his eyes, where he just saw that excitement, and he's like, I got an answer for you right now. And he takes the phone call, and he's just like, oh, let's go get it. That was a phenomenal scene right there with his eyes, where he just, it was a thing of beauty. And I feel bad for Shubnam because she is she's a beautiful woman, right? You feel bad for the daughter that they are basically adopting her and whatnot, but he's got a job to finish. And so he answers that phone call and he takes on the job, and then all craziness ensues in addition to that. Weren't you expecting, though, this is where they're going to make him a redeemable character, where he was going to say, you know what? I thought that they were getting, bro. You're right. It didn't happen, but I thought, okay, this is the angle. Lala confronts him about it. He's gonna be the redeemable character because we find out in a little bit, which we'll hit that storyline. Golu is gone. She's way gone. There's no redeeming Golu. Okay, so I'm thinking this family's gonna allow him to be a redeemable character. And you're right. It looked like he was having that conversation. He was so close to it, and then the phone rang, and I saw the change in his eyes, and I was like, oh no,
Yeah, no. Because, the reason I say no is not to try to sound like the smartest person in the room, but it's because he said in episode 9 when he was talking to Go, I have never lost my focus. There's only one thing I want right now. He tells his dad, I'm too far gone. There's only one thing I want, and I've said goodbye to all morals, to all standards, to everything for this one thing. And then when, so the police come arrest him, and you got Father Pandit right there to, I'm going to do my duty as a keeper of the peace, and we're going to take you in. And Guru basically does the old-fashioned, like, you're not going to take me alive, coppers. And he's got his gun behind plants and whatnot, and he's got the super cop behind the back. He shows a sign of weakness, and this is what Guru was talking about. No weakness, no attachments. What are you doing? We got a job to do. He shows his sign of weakness, and I'm so glad he did, because super cops wanted to threaten Shubnam and the little girl. If he doesn't let him go, they're going to shoot her. And so he gives up the gun, he gets himself arrested, and he walks away. And right away, he's like, we're done. Whatever we had, we're done, because I know what I got to do. And that was his focus. That was his main focus right there, was to become the king of Mirzapur.
But he still sacrificed himself for her at that moment, right?
Yep.
Because he doesn't know how it's going to end up. So I still think there's something there. Maybe she'll be the redeeming quality. Because remember, Lala also got locked up behind this. Everybody got locked up. The cops went over there. So I'm like, what just happened? So, so we don't skip too much of it. Well, we'll talk about it in a little bit. When she calls, we're talking about Bina. Bina says, remember our deal.
Yep.
And he's like, yes.
Does she really believe in that deal? Is she kidding me right now?
He's like, you can have Mirzapur until my son is of age, and then we'll turn over the kingdom. Here's the thing. Not only do I believe it,
no,
I think that eventually for Godu, the power is not even going to, all he wants is revenge. Once he gets there, it's like a kid in candy. So he's not going to know what to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to get to the point where, you know what I'm saying? Like it's vengeance that's fueling him.
I agree with that. I agree with that. He's not going to last 2 years. He's not going to last a full term, for crying out loud. But if he does last, there's no way. These people, these dons, these criminals, they don't give up their power that easily because of a deal, because of a pinky promise we made. No way, Jose. There's no way I believe in it. But
Bina's the savage, right? We talked about this. Here's some more savagery. Dad lost his witness because and the cop, because the dude drowned himself. So they go there to arrest Lala and Guru, excuse me. But yet the cop is even double crossing Mr. Pandit, because he's like, yep, they're probably not gonna go to jail. We won't get justice. This is how we're gonna get justice. He's planning to cold-blooded murder Godu. And I'm like, what is going on? As soon as I heard, oh, you got to ride in that car and I got to ride in this car, I'm like, something's going on. And he was planning to take him out there and just pop him, just murder him. I'm like, why wouldn't you do that to Kaleem? Kaleem's the one that killed all your people, not Godu. You know what I'm saying? But I see what he's doing. He's picking off the gangsters one by one. Ultimately, Godu was still with Kaleem at that time, and he knew that. Remember, that's the first people that he wanted to start off with. It was the Pandit brothers. He sent his cops after him. So, he's still trying to systematically take them down that way or whatever. But finally, we had a redeeming. Maybe this is our redeeming.
Wasn't that nice? Didn't you like to see, for as much as you hate Mr. Pandit, to see Pandit, he realizes what's going on. I was shocked to see a gun in his briefcase. I know he's had it before.
Right.
What I should say is I'm shocked that he was willing to use it to that degree. We see that he doesn't want to see his son go down, but he wants to see his son pay for what he did, because he feels that that's right. That was and I won't steal your thunder, but that was such a beautiful thing. And I loved what he said afterwards, but we'll get to that in a second. But I want to hear you describe it, because you have such a disdain for this guy.
I hated this guy because the entire time I'm thinking about this whole thing is your fault, right? Because you're so altruistic with your virtues. that all you can think about is I've got this duty or whatever. You try to take on the biggest gangsters in the town, even though nobody else, your family would have never been in this situation if it wasn't for you. Okay. And through this, you're still trying to find witnesses. You got 3 more people killed. You got more people killed because you're trying to get them to be witnesses against you. And he just doesn't get it. Like, this world is bigger than you. It's bigger than the law. But then you find out at that moment, Nick, that he is truly altruistic. You know what I'm saying? Because Guru tells him, see, we're the same. You were forced to do what you had to do. Use the gun and do the same. He said, we're not the same, because even though I used the gun because I had to, I'm going to pay for my crimes where you won't. In fact, I'm going to demand that I pay for my crimes. Like, this guy really, that's when it is. It's easy to sacrifice when it's the other guy. It's easy to sacrifice when it's somebody else's money. It's easier to, but when it's you and you're on the line, self-preservation is the biggest motivator for anything, Nick. You know what I'm saying? This guy, think about it. Lawyers, DAs, cops, they don't do well in jail, and you're about to turn yourself in for what you did so that you can get punished for your crime. This guy that's our redeemable character right there. He is our moral compass. And I thought it was such a beautiful moment to where I'm saying, man, this is a dark world and there's not one redeemable character. And they finally gave us one where he was forced to do something else, but he knows, yeah, there's a penalty to what I did, even though I was saving my son's life.
Well, and it's like I was saying for a while, and there's some people in the comments that they agree with you about hate Mr. Pandit. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but I understand having those morals, having those standards, and not being willing to bend. You know, it's so easy to bend from your morals when it's not the popular choice or it's not an easy choice. But he's in so deep. So many people have died around him. He's trying to stay true in this corrupt city, in this corrupt area, and he proves it right there. I'm going to go to jail. I'm going to demand that. It's such a desperation thing because his Babalu died throughout this whole process. He lost Guru in a different way. He lost Sweetie and future grants and all that kind of stuff. I love, that's why I'm so impressed with this season, because the writing, these writers, they gave us some kind of a closure for this season for every single character and minor character for the most part. And so many times I watch seasons or I watch series and I'm like, what was the point of this guy? There was no closure right there. There was no finished story arc. So that was absolutely fantastic. And you see father and son right there. You see Gouda when he calls him Papa, like he actually means that. Like, he doesn't hate his Papa anymore. He doesn't hate his dad anymore. I think he has an understanding. But again, the one thing Gouda's always been with his dad is very honest, bluntly honest. This is who I am. This is what I want. I know you don't like it. I'm not going to go away quietly. I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. It was fantastic. Now, there's one storyline that I want to kick us off on. Very, very interesting. And I was wrong in this, right? Boy, was I wrong. But we're talking about Dada, Junior, and Senior. Okay? So Junior got completely played. We knew he was getting played by Golu. They have another session. He's like the Queen of Hearts. That was kind of cute, right? You know, I love you so much, blah, blah, blah. And obviously Dada finds out. Obviously Senior finds out. Because the stupid uncle, the stupid brother-in-law, he's like, hey, I started a new business. Here's some sweets. Aren't you so happy? He starts a business with the drug money, and then he's dumb enough to go brag about it because he wants some respect from Dada, thinking Dada's right when he walks away. He's like, where'd he get money? Didn't I say no to that business? Where'd that money come from? And then even Junior, as he's just blinded by love, he's like, dude, what are you doing? We were good. I would have figured, which they wouldn't have figured out, but we were good. Why'd you do that? You're such an idiot. Oh, I can't help myself. So it gets the wheels turning, and Dada tells Senior, who's a good soldier, figure out what's going on. Oh, I already know what's going on. I figured it out, Papa. It is Junior here selling drugs with Uncle. Oh, really? And Dada, he's ticked. He's got the wife right there, right? He's got Senior right there. And Senior's just like, what do you want us to do? This is
that Senior's grimy, bro. Because he's like, what do you want me to do? Like, no, that's your twin brother.
He's a soldier. He's a soldier. He understands.
Grimy.
He understands the chain of command, right? And I'm not saying it excuses it, but he's all about the soldier. What do you want me to do, Papa? And remember, he wants to preserve his own position as Senior. He doesn't want that taken away because he's just a few minutes older. And so Dada's ticked. I mean, he's just livid. He's not my son. He's your son. My son would never do that. And he's so mad. And his wife, I mean, she was strong in that one episode. She just gives it back to him like a wife should, like a mom should. She's like, you kidding me? You don't think a mom has a say in what happens with her 2 twin sons? You don't think that's your son because he didn't do what you want? Are you kidding me? No.
She's like,
she makes fun of him for being small.
And the other one now. I love that.
She makes fun of him being small, and he's just like I thought he was going to hit her or something. He was just like, she's like, you see, it's not hard to be rude. It's easy to be rude. I thought that was a great line because that's a great message. But she's like, you got to figure it out. They're both your kids. You need to calm down. I mean, that was an awesome moment. And to Dada's credit, he's just, he's being a good husband. He loves his wife. He's like, okay, you're right. I don't have to like it, but you're right. And so he goes to this whole thing where he comes up with this plan on how he's going to figure it out. And I had said once they find out they're going to take out Junior, they weren't going to take out Junior. They were going to let him go off scot-free. All he's got to do is get Golo to apologize, right?
Dada.
Hold on.
Dada
you always love to do this. I don't ever interrupt you, my friend. You always love to do this. I get it. You got something to say. What else is new, right? It's another day. Gabe's got something to say. But hold on. He's got this plan for how he's going to get not only Junior to admit to it, but to get Junior to pay for his crime, so to speak. And in hindsight, obviously, but at the time, it's a stupid plan. It's a dumb plan. He wants to use his dominance. He wants to use his control. He underestimated how deep Junior is with his feelings for Golu. Now, I know I missed earlier on when Senior was going to Robin and Robin let the cat out of the bag. And he's like, oh, you're still messing around with what's her face. And that's where he found out about the drugs and it got him on that trail or whatever. But that whole situation of getting Junior to pay for it was stupid. He probably should have spent a few more minutes thinking about it.
Why do you say that?
Because look at what happened. He wanted to use his dominance. He wanted to make an example out of Uncle. He knows his son is soft as comparison to his other son. He knows Junior is, more free-spirited, not so stiff. He's kind of more loosey-goosey. This guy just betrayed you and your no drug rule for a woman. Okay, which, we're all guys. We've been there, done that, right? But for a woman, he knows his son is soft and not yet ready for that mantle. And he is going to, because he's dad and because he's in control, when I tell him to do something, he's going to do it. I want you to make Uncle pay, and I want you to take him out right now because I'm in charge, and I'm going to make you do it. I'm going to make you a man. He did not understand who his son was. That's why I say it was a dumb decision. It was out of pride. It was not out of, tactic or whatever.
See, and that's funny because while you're crushing Dada for this, I'm still stuck on Senior because Senior, without any hesitation, was going to take out his own brother. Without any hesitation, was going to take out his own uncle. To me, he's the more deplorable of the two, okay? Dada at least put his son in a position where, in my opinion, this is what he was trying to do. He was trying to show his son by putting him there, knowing his son was going to fail. This is where his mistake was. And it's not his, it's his henchman. Why don't you check the uncle? You guys are going to eventually kill him. How does nobody pat him down to make sure he doesn't have a gun on him?
Why? Because he didn't want the uncle to have any idea he was going to get got in that moment. But it's a dumb decision.
That was the mistake at that point. But this, to me, that's why I disagree with you. I thought it was super smart because what he's doing is teaching his son a lesson. Listen, if you're not man enough to take a life, then you're not man enough to be in this business pushing dark chocolate, okay? You're not man enough to try to be a gangster. I'm a gangster, all right? I'm going to go ahead and kill your uncle here, no questions asked. I'm going to have your brother, who's a real gangster, kill. He knew he wasn't going to do it. I think the mistake was not having checked the uncle.
Again, it comes to that situation, and I've been in the situation as a parent and as a professional. We teach youth, right? I've been in this position where you get in kind of this power struggle sometimes, where you just figure I'm the adult, I'll get louder with my own kids, and they're going to listen to me. No, because that anger, that contention begets contention, and it makes the situation worse. And this is not a 4-year-old or a 10-year-old you're messing with. This is a grown man who's feeling disrespect. He went behind your back, broke your one rule in your criminal, crime lord for a woman. He turned his back on you in an instant for this woman that doesn't even care about him. He calls her up. I need you to apologize. I can't do that right now. It was not. I love you. It's not love. It's need. I need you right now. No offense. I gotta go. I got stuff to do.
I need more, were her words. And she went way over there. She knew in his voice in that phone call, he's in trouble. He just said Dada and Senior found out. So she knows what that means for him. And all you need to do is come and apologize. And she couldn't be bothered. Meaning she knew he was probably
no
going to get
attachment whatsoever. She's completely gone. But I still hold true that, I mean, you can't predict that Junior's going to go as far as he can. But Romeo and Juliet, right? Fictional story. You think Romeo and Juliet you think Juliet overreacted there? I think so. But when you have that love factor, right, it's unpredictable. And what does Junior have? He has to ask his 2-minute older twin brother for permission to wipe his own butt, for crying out loud.
Right.
And remember, you're mad at Senior. Who turned the gun on whom? Right? Who was the first one to turn the gun on their brother? It was Junior. When he wasn't get what he wanted, boom, right to Senior. And Senior's like, dude, okay. And then he turns it back.
What he said was,
even when his dad gave the soft punishment, have your girl apologize and we're good. No reason to go further. What does Senior do? He accepts it. He's not like, oh, but dad, that's not fair.
Right.
It's like,
but
he's a soldier.
Since Golu didn't apologize, Senior was that's what Dada's words were.
He's embarrassed that his younger brother is being a fool right now.
And then you're gonna go take care of Golu, and that's why he said, "No, I won't let you hurt her." And that's why he turned, like you said, love. Right. That's why he turned the gun on him. Yep. It was because of Golu. But going back to why I think Senior is more deplorable, bro. They're twin brothers. They're 2 minutes apart. We've grown up. You were the one that found out. Dada didn't find out. You found out because of Robin, and I told you I hated Robin's guts from the beginning. Heathen. Why couldn't you just say, bro, are you really doing this? You know what Dad'll do if he finds out? No, you can't do this. I would have gone to my brother and said, hey, Dad, hey, bro, we can't do this. We need to get you out of this quick, because if Dada finds out, it's going to be bad for you. It's going to be bad for Gold. If you really like this girl, you got to find another way, but this is going to get people killed. You know what I'm saying? That's your brother. Forget about your uncle. Okay, whatever. But that's your brother, your twin brother. That's just, to me, too ruthless.
But that's the hierarchy that Dada created for them. I mean, you think his brother cares at all that Junior does not have a woman, does not have a wife? He's got a wife. He's got a beautiful woman here taking care of everything. You think he cares that Junior doesn't? You think he's sticking up for Junior like, hey, Dad, let's get him a girl. He wants some love. He doesn't care. All he cares about is the fact that he is the prince of the throne and he's the next in charge, and Junior keeps messing up. And I'm not saying he's a great character. Not at all. We have more of emotional attachment to Junior, but I feel like Junior, he's the reckless one, obviously. Now, let me ask you this question. We have this whole situation where guns go a-blazing, shots get fired everywhere. You got the uncle, and that was a sweet move. He's like, whoosh, and he's out there shooting everyone. And it's like the classic, like, stand up, like, here, who's going to shoot? Who's going to shoot? Guns fires everywhere. The henchman, idiot. He gets shot. Let me shoot my gun and just fly it everywhere. You have carnage on the floor. You have twin brother here. You have twin brother there. And I know they were goofing around too, and they were messing around or whatever, trying to fight for the gun. Now, I could be way off on this. I'm curious if you thought about this too. They both go down. You see one in the head, obviously gone. The other one in the shoulder, I think one in the front. They're moving around. Did you think for a second when he gets up and he goes, Junior, what happened to Junior? No. And the dad before that says Senior. Do you think for a second, did you, that was really Junior pretending to be Senior? That he had the presence of mind and he's sitting there, he calls me Senior. I can get out of it right now. Junior, what happened?
Absolutely. That's exactly what they're going to go with. You know why? Because they didn't show the hand. What's the only way we can tell them apart? The ring. And they didn't show the hand purposely, right? One was under him and the other guy's arm was also, so you could not see that ring. If you cannot see that ring that he wears on his pointed finger, you don't know which one they are, because, again, that's what got Robin confused. Dada didn't even know who they were. The wives, remember, they set this up a while ago. When Senior,
and that's what I said. That was the Easter egg right there, where he was able to play it off. Oh, baby, I'm just joking around. I'm Junior.
Exactly, because they're so.
Yes,
it's gonna be Junior. It's gonna be Junior.
And I think another sign of it was the fact that he was like, "Oh, Junior, no." I don't see Senior reacting that way. Like you said, he's cold blooded. He said, "That's what happens. You get what you get."
I think so. And maybe that's what people were thinking about, that they thought it was too cute. I thought it was genius, because you got to go back to the foreshadowing. They set this up. Had they not set this up before in the season, and it wouldn't have had such a payoff. But they set this up when he went down, and he's dressed just like Dada and just like Senior. And he even tricks Senior's wife. You would think the wife would be able to tell them apart. They're identical twins. Nobody can tell them apart unless it's because of the ring. So I thought that was super cool, super smart. I enjoyed it.
What? All right. So we have basically the grand finale. It's all a whole bunch of crazy. Before we get to the grand finale, I want to talk quickly on this because we're already going long here. And I said we weren't going to, but we did. So you got Butler Boy, right? You got Bina freaking out about the son. She knows Muna's unhinged. She's got no reason to not go after her because he basically looked at her and gave the threat out. She's freaking out. You know, you got to do whatever you need to. You understand me? Do whatever you need to protect our son. I got it, baby. Don't worry about it. And to his credit, I mean, he can't shoot straight, but he was going after it, right? Muna comes out of the shower. Fires go off. They have a little fight ensues back and forth. And it was the one issue I had with it, it was so lame. It took forever for him to sit there and do nothing so he can get hit with the bottle. I mean, come on, we saw it a mile away. But other than that, he says, just tell me who sent you, who wants me killed. I thought he was going to just dime her out. I really did. This guy in his dying moments was a genius. He's like, it was your dad. Why would my dad do this? Because he knows about Compounder. He knows you sent Compounder to kill him. This guy remembered that from before, and he used it in the moments that he can't see a bottle coming from a mile away, but he used it in his dying moments, staying allegiant to Bina and to who he thinks is his son and that future throne. I thought that was really cool. It was a small little thing. I thought it was really cool, but obviously Muna gets away from it. Now Muna thinks that his dad's going after him. He calls Sherrod. It's on like Donkey Kong. My dad tried to kill me. Now I'm going to do it right. Meet me there. Sherrod's just like, okay, let's go. He had a genius plan. We're going to stay back and see what happens with these two. And then he calls the dad. He's like, hey, he's going to come after you. Better watch out. And so he sends all his guys. The dad's sitting there just chilling like a boss. He's like, you're not going to take me. I'm not going to freak out and stress about it. And then we had the grand finale. Gabe, take us home.
Let me ask you a question. Why did Colleen send away all his guys? You just got the call from Sherrod that Muna's going to come kill you. Okay, you know Muna was hot. Why did he want to get killed at some point, or was this just trying to test his son's loyalty before he gave him the kingdom?
I think there's two possibilities, and I lean more to the second one I'm going to say. First of all, I think it was a sign of respect. Like, I'm not going to get in a fight with my son. A sign of, white flag. My gun is down here. I'm going to go get a drink of water. I'm going to wash my face. I'm not going to take my gun with me. You can shoot me if you want. There was that. But I also think there's a small part of it, and I could be way off on this. I think there's a small part where he did not want the embarrassment of the Tripathi name to where a son is going to go after the dad. The prince is going to go after the king. He didn't want to deal with all that. Now, as I'm saying this, it's probably more the first one I actually said than the latter, where he doesn't want to make it too because he tells Bina, I can't lose a son. I'll give up the entire throne. I don't care, but I can't lose a son. What do you think?
I thought it was that it goes back to what he said before. And that's why I think that Mr. Tripathi angers me less, I should say, than Mr. Pandit, where he's not willing to sacrifice Muna for anything. He could have got out of this a while ago with JP Yadav if he had just sacrificed Muna after the Red Wedding. Muna was the cause of all his issues, but he would never sacrifice his son. And I think that was to show that he was a better father than Mr. Pandit, although Mr. Pandit chose to sacrifice himself because of his virtues. But he's like, look, I'm putting down my gun, and if you kill me, so be it. But I won't draw your blood. I got 50 dudes out here. You came by yourself, but I'm going to send them away because if you attack me, they're going to take you out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I will not be the person to lift my hand against my own son. That's how much he loves his son. You know what I mean? That's what I got out of it. And I thought that was the message that they were trying to send, because later on, you see where Muna tries to return the favor and save his life. He sacrificed himself for his dad because they saw his dad would do the same for him. I thought that's what they set up. But Sherrod immediately calls, he's such a scumbag, and I love him with his gold gun. All right.
Oh, it's awesome.
Sharad Shankar's a man. They get there. He's just let this be let them kill each other. We're just gonna lay in the cut. And they're talking, and then Muna puts down his gun, and he said, "Why didn't you do it?" He said, "I couldn't do it." And he said, "It's the same reason why a father can't lose his son's love, and the kingdom is yours." And then right at that touching moment, that's when Guru and Golu come, no questions asked, and they start popping off. Pop, 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 pop. People start
one hand.
Oh, dude, she's become efficient with it. You know what, man? Though? After I saw her take those belt whippings to the back, she could probably do it, cousin. Because now, woo, that girl's been working out. But big gunfight happens, and they get pinned down, and Muna chooses to sacrifice himself and put his body as a human shield in front of Colleen, and because Colleen had already taken two to the gut, and that's when they light Muna up or whatever. Muna drops. Colleen's on the ground as well. We don't know if he's dead or not or whatnot. We know Muna's still breathing. So ruthless. Golu and Godu go up to Muna while he's on the ground, and he's sitting down. So they put the gun to his chest, to his heart, and then they stop. And I was like, oh, I thought they're going to sacrifice him. I had forgot. And then when he opens his eyes, he's like, we were just waiting till you open your eyes. And that was a callback to what he did with Babalu. He waited till Godu opened his eyes and watched, and then took off his melon with the shotgun. Now I'm like, oh my God. You know what I mean, dude? Just ruthless. And Muna just laughed. Muna didn't look afraid at all. He's like, oh, you got me with my own move. Nice. And dude, they shot it right there. It was poetic.
Double tap.
It double tap right in the heart, right? All of a sudden, Radhi Shankar says his men, and you're thinking, what is he doing? Muna's down. That's part of what he wanted. Let these guys take each other. Let Godu finish the business, and then you just take Godu out, and you're good. But for whatever reason, he chooses to save Colleen. Don't understand that. That's what I wanted to ask you as your thoughts. He sends his men as a diversion. They go and get into a shootout with Guru and Golu and their men. At the same time, he goes ahead and grabs Mr. Tripathi, who's still breathing, Colleen, puts him in the back of the car, and that's where we end when they're leaving. So what was that about? Why did he save the guy that literally got his dad killed? That was his dad's enemy his whole life.
So I have 3 issues with this episode. One I already mentioned about the bottle delaying. Not really a big deal, but it kind of bugged me a little bit. The 2 other issues are in this moment. One, when he goes and saves Colleen, he's not walking on his own power whatsoever.
Yeah.
This guy, and Colleen is like 10 feet from Guru and Golu. He sends his men as sacrificial lambs, and he's able to run over there 10 feet away, pick this guy up, run him all the way down the hill to where his car's at, and drive off in like 30 seconds before Golu and Guru even notice he's gone. Give me a break, right? 2, the only reason, in my opinion, and I can't wait for the comment section to help me out because I can't think of anything else, it was just to set up season 3. As I watched this, I'm like, man, are they going to take out all 3 Tripathis? What are you going to do for season 3? You have to introduce all these new characters that Guru's going to have to go against. It's to set up season 3 because it makes no sense. Sharad had his moment. I thought this was just like a sabbatical for him. Let me take out everyone that hurt my feelings and my father, and then I'm good. I'm done. I'm away from the life. He could have taken out Guru and Golo for good measure right then and there. Boom. Said and done. He should be more mad at Guru than anyone else. I understand the pain of it running deep with the Tripathis, but you're right. Why in the world, unless he wanted Tripathi for himself, unless he wants to take him back and he wants to torture him, he just wants him to know all the pain that he showed. Even though it was really Babaji that caused most of the pain for Radhi Shankar. Maybe that's why. I don't know, but I think it was, just to set up season 3.
I mean, I think it's what we talked about earlier. Pankaj Tripathi is the biggest name associated with this show, okay? Yep. And you got to have that name. Even though Muna was a great character, great actor, he's not as well known, okay? And if you kill off Pankaj and you kill off Muna's character for season 3, are you telling me that just Ali Faisal is enough to carry this show? And Sweeta Tripathi, I don't know. Maybe not. You know what I'm saying? But I'm excited for season 3. I don't know what people were talking about, to be honest. Maybe it's because I've already seen shows like The Soprano where they can't stick the landing. Okay. I've already seen Game of Thrones, where progressively over the seasons it got worse. Walking Dead was must-watch TV. And then by season 8, 9, 10, whatever, it just started. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You can only go so far. You can only fly so close to the sun. And eventually whatever goes up must come down. So was it as good as season 1, guys? No. Name me a show that's better in season 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, come on.
I'm telling you, I think it might have been just a little bit better because of how season 1 ended, where you as a fan, you want to see that revenge. And this was the revenge tour. And it culminated at the end. I'm telling you right now, as much as I love this show, and of course I'll watch it day 1 when season 3 comes out, I don't really care right now. The show, in my opinion, the series wrapped up. It wrapped up. They're going to give us something in season 3. I have no stakes in season 3 at this point. I really don't. Muna, I think it's a mistake to kill him off. I understand Gudu, you want to get that revenge on there. You don't want to drag on for 10 seasons, but why not? That can be fun TV. Muna is being molded. We didn't get to see anything with that. We'll have the chief minister, and we'll have Colleen, and we'll have Sherrod, and we'll have Golu and Gudu. I just don't care at this point. They've got to bring in some interesting storylines to make me care. I do like that they kind of sewed it up a little bit. Season 2 was a whole lot of fun. I enjoyed every episode. It was so much fun. I love the Dada family character and whatnot. Can't wait to see what happens. I am excited to see about that whole junior pretending to be senior. I'm pretty sure, like you are, that's what happened. But, man, this was a great season. Sorry, guys, most of you, I disagree. I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it so much. Maybe a little more than season 1. I'm not exactly sure, but it's very, very close. It just doesn't have Babalu. But, I mean, for me, for this season, I'm easily giving this an A+. I really am. Easily an A+.
Not bad, not bad. My grade's a little bit lower than yours, I thought season 1 was an A, solid A. You know, very little, or actually A+ I might have given it. Very little went wrong with season 1. I think season 2, you know, just a couple plot holes here and there, like you mentioned, or whatnot. But, man, it was a mistake to kill off Muna. He was becoming such an interesting character as well. You know, intertwining politics and gangsters. I mean, listen, guys, that's the history of this country. And I'm talking about our country, America, okay? Politicians been in bed with gangsters forever. And this is not hyperbole talking. This is real. This is history talking. Like, most people don't realize John Kennedy, who was like, you know, the Kennedy dynasty, if anybody knows, you know, one of the most beloved presidents. His dad was a rum runner. His dad was a gangster. Joseph P. Kennedy was a gangster. Look it up, all right? No, you know what I mean? That's just real. So I thought it would have been so much more interesting to keep Muna in there for that reason. And you guys, come on, you saw me with the glasses. I said from the beginning, I love Muna. So my man being taken out kind of brought it down a little bit, but I'm still going to give it a solid A. Solid A is my grade, Nick.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us in this journey. All 10 episodes. We appreciate it. It's you know, it's a little exhausting to go through all these episodes, but it's a lot of fun to watch it. We hope you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to give us a like. Don't forget to give us a subscribe as well. We would really appreciate that. Don't forget to come back for some more videos next time. And until next time,
we know all things.